Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a wonderful start to 2025. This video I am going to talk about my journal and planner setup for 2025. My main goal for 2025 is to be more realistic with the time that I have and just to get back into the journaling habit. So this is the A6 Hobonichi Hone in the bow and tie snakes pattern. I used a Hone A6 size last year because I was just really intrigued by it and I failed miserably. But I believe it is because the purpose that I had intended for it was not super clear. That was why there was just so much room for me to just forget about it and not use it. I just really want to go back to the simplicity of keeping a personal journal and writing down my thoughts in one place, and I didn't really have that type of journal in the past year. I decided that having a dated daily journal would really be helpful for me to get back on track of writing more regularly, not worrying about decoration, and I think also categorizing every single journal was really impeding my ability to go with the flow. And so that was also a blocker in the past year. So I've already started using it, and for the past few days I've really been consistent in writing and just using simple decoration. Nothing that I really have to think too much for. If I don't use decoration, that's fine. I really just want to kind of spend some time every day writing something. And so far it's been working really well, and I'm just enjoying having something consistent, and the dated format is definitely working for me. Plus the A6 size is great for just, even 10 minutes of sitting down and just writing whatever comes to mind. So this for me, I think is going to be a great way to get me back into journaling in 2025. In the monthlies, what I have been doing is starting to do like just a little bit of gratitude every day. So I would like to continue this and see how it goes. I was drawn to the snakes design because my Chinese zodiac sign is snake, and it is our year this year in 2025. So I mean, I couldn't pass it up, and really happy with this cover. It's so cute. So the next one is also an A6 size, and this is my family memory keeping journal. This journal I do little memories of my two sons, and I include photos and ephemera. In the past I've done it every single day. With the past year I have been struggling because I stopped using the Hobonichi dated planners for this purpose because I just felt like I didn't want to do it every day, and so I started using an undated Hobonichi notebook to create spreads with photos and ephemera, and then use like dated stamps to mark what date I was journaling about. While it was working for a while, I think also within that time last year, after I had my newborn, where I didn't have any time to journal and document, and didn't have the time or the energy to continue with that book. So I thought of this last minute, and so I purchased a 2025 A6 Techo to start anew and just continue on from January 1st onwards, and just start getting into that regular rhythm again of printing photos, writing small summaries of like what happened that day or milestones that were met. I'm not going to pressure myself, but I do want to make it a regular thing so that not too much time passes where I just have so much piled up and then I just feel too overwhelmed. And currently the cover that I'm using is the Tokyo Metronome cover, which I really love, and it feels just so nice and cozy for the winter time. Up next is my 5-year Hobonichi, which I also do memory keeping with general daily family memories. This is more just like highlights, and then I kind of expand on it in the other journals. And this one is kind of my least favorite journal just because I feel like it is really hard to keep up with, and I kind of dread writing in here. I don't know why, but it is so rewarding to see memories start to fill up on the same page. Because I am in my 3rd year of using this, so I would love to keep it up if I can. I think it's a cool way to just see family memories and to recall everything on one page. It's really cool when you can see everything, you know, start to be filled up. There are so many days where pages are blank, but I think I can just accept that and kind of like enjoy what I have written in here. So I would love to keep this up, and every year I do a different color of the year so that it looks really nice when you do see it on the page. So there is that. And then this is my favorite cover that I purchased from the 2025 Hobonichi collection, which I featured in my video. But this is the taut zipped cover, and I love it so much. And this journal is the Nanami paper cafe notes in the A6 size. I've been writing in this since September, but I've kind of fallen off on it. So the purpose has kind of changed. So originally this was my personal journal where I would just write a lot of deeper thoughts and personal writing that I don't like to share with anyone. Some people call it like a therapy journal, which I think is very true. Just a place to write down maybe more serious and personal thoughts. It's been really hard to keep up, and I don't know if that's the format, the size of the grid for me, or just the intimidating like amount of pages. I'm gonna still try and have this journal more of like an extension to my Hone personal journal. Otherwise, I plan to just add the Hone into this cover. Obviously, you have to take off the clear cover. Love it so much, and I want to use it more, obviously, but I do love just the Hone on its own. Moving on to my first planner, this A5 binder from Plotter. I actually really like this size for taking notes and even writing down lists and things like that. It's a nice way to flip back and forth and have flexibility. So currently I have a monthly printable spread. This is from Peanut Planner Co. She has a lot of free printables that you can download if you join their Facebook group. So I find it's a great way for me, especially when it's a size that I can't really commit to. I liked using her free printables, and so I've been using the monthlies. Obviously this one is from 2024, but I will be using the 2025 ones. This is just a nice size for me to plot out anything. Right now it's for work. It's just nice to see everything on a larger scale calendar, and I like that there's enough room for multiple items as well as a note section on the bottom. I do use the A5 size dotted grid paper from Plotter, and I find it is a great size for any work notes that I have. And for me, it's a great system to be able to have my notes and then be able to rearrange them or quickly refer to them. Because it's a larger size, an A5 plotter is perfect to just keep on my desk, and so that's mainly how this is being utilized. It doesn't really leave my desk, so it's not something I would kind of bring around anywhere. Then the other planner that I have in my lineup is also a plotter, and this is in the Bible size. This is a Liscio leather that I purchased secondhand from Japan, so it does have the beautiful rose gold plating and the rose gold rings, which I am so happy about, and the quality is amazing. I also purchased the A5 from Japan secondhand as well, and I can tell you that it is a lot cheaper than purchasing it from the US. Plus, you will probably not be getting the gold rings anymore if you purchase new. So I'm planning to make a video more about my plotters. This one is more like an everyday planner for me. So right now I'm not really showing you my filled out plans, but in general, this is how I am using it. First section is a daily spread for personal and work to-dos. So right now I'm really enjoying this Reime insert, which fits in the Bible and personal size ring binders. And this one is nice because you have 2 days on one page and then you have 2 on the back. Generally, I write the date here with the day of the week, any to-dos, and then kind of more of a list of things as well. So I just like the layout of this and the cream color that this comes in. So I purchased this from Yoseka, which is where you can get it in the US. But I was also experimenting with using the grid paper from Plotter and also doing like a quadrant system because I generally like to plan with to-do lists and checking things off per day. I also love the inserts from Wise Coffee Break, which I was using last year, and I purchased it from her shop as a printable, which I really love. It also kind of has like a grid per day design, and I like it, but I am also super bad with printing things on my own, so it kind of just takes me some time to print them out, and so I just need time to kind of just like print a bunch out and then have them and cut them. So I use the Kokuyo A4 business paper, which works great with fountain pen ink. So then the next section is the plotter to-do list, which I absolutely love, and I split it up for a few things. So this one, which is not filled out because I don't really want to show it, but is for purchases that I've made. Mostly I'll just be listing like personal purchases that I make for stationery and fountain pen and maybe like books or entertainment. Then I have like a wish list here for things that I want to keep on my radar, or maybe like just keep myself accountable for anything that I might want, but maybe it's not like a need. And then I usually keep a list of things that don't really have like a specific due date that I want to get done. So it's to get done someday, to keep it in one place and top of mind. And then I have a list, this is older as well, but I like to keep a list of books and TV shows and movies that I want to consume. The next section is really for notes and like expanded lists that I have. Most of it will be for YouTube or perhaps things that I am learning or really want to write down. And I just use the plotter grid paper for this section. And then that kind of bleeds into the next section that I'm kind of experimenting with. I usually keep my commonplace journal in a bound book, and as well as like book notes as well. But I'm experimenting with using it in the plotter because I do kind of like having it in a more flexible format where I can, you know, take out paper as well as add to sections, things like that. So this one I'm experimenting with doing my commonplace journal in here. And so I have like a color key, and I've started to put some things in here, but I also want to experiment with writing book notes in here as well. So I've got some sterling ink lined paper. I do like this, but the only feedback is that it's white, and I prefer the cream colored paper. So it's a pretty simple setup. In general, this just sits on my desk as well. I don't really like to take this specific planner out with me. In the past, I've been using my traveler's notebook passport size for on the go. And then another wild card to the planner and plotter mix, but I have always been curious about the narrow size of plotter, and I found one secondhand again online. It has all the gold hardware and rings, and really actually enjoy using this size. It basically is the size of a Hobonichi Weeks. It is the perfect size for planning, so this is where the curveball is, because I really enjoy this size for planning. Yet I've been planning in the Bible size, and it is the more common size to have refills for, because the narrow size, it seems to only be limited to Japanese retailers or purchasing directly from Plotter for the size, which is a little annoying, but that's why I'm experimenting with it. And if it's something that works this year and I find it worthwhile, then I would order directly from Plotter. And I purchased it secondhand. The seller also included a few inserts as well, which was really nice. One of them being the 2024 monthly, which was nice because I was able to start using some and experiment with the monthly inserts, which actually I really liked. I think the layout is really nice and the size of the grid is really useful. So I usually do not purchase dated monthly inserts, but I might consider it for next year. I believe the 2024 insert for the monthly also includes, you know, up until, yeah, I guess until March of 2025. So that's been really nice. I am waiting on the weekly refills. Of course, because Plotter just sells out so quickly of their 2025 inserts, I missed out on the narrow size for the weekly. So I've been making my own weekly pages using just plain dotted Plotter paper, and I don't like making my own inserts because I just feel like the time that it takes me is just too long. But so I've been experimenting with that for a little bit. I like the Wise Coffee Break layout of inserts, which again is like just a weekly on one page and split up into grids for each day, because I just like to make lists and do that. And then for any events or appointments, I've been putting that in the monthly calendar. So I did find someone on Facebook Marketplace who was selling the weekly narrow size inserts, so I'm just waiting for those to arrive, and then I will be using that in this planner and have a weekly section. And then on the weeks that I didn't really feel like drawing out a grid, I was just experimenting with kind of like a weekly list format. So just writing the day and then making a list of my to-dos in an easier format. And then here's the Wise Coffee Break insert printable that I have. I tried to cut it down to a narrow size, which of course did not work because it's a Bible personal size insert, and when you do that it cuts off. So that's not going to work, but that was an experiment. This section is just plain Plotter paper. I've been using it to test pens and ink, and then just any notes that I have and lists and things like that. So this section I was trying to use this as a book note section, which I like because this plotter size is again super portable and lightweight. In the back I was experimenting with writing book notes in here for the books that I'm reading, and so far I really like it because this size is so portable, and when I'm reading a book I can also have a journal next to me. The only thing is I'm not sure if I love using a binder format for it. So what I had been doing was just taking the paper out and like writing as I'm reading, but I don't know, I still might like a bound book better for book notes. When my weekly refills come in, I'm gonna still experiment with it, but because the narrow size is so proprietary to just plotter as well as more of just like Japanese inserts, I don't know how beneficial it is to have it. While I do like the size, maybe it's not a good idea. So yeah, I'm kind of like jumping in between these two, but because I don't do so much of planning, I think it's okay, and I'm kind of just more flexible with it. So most likely I will be in this for planning, and then perhaps with this it'll be more of just like note taking or note collecting, commonplacing. We'll see. But yeah, these are the two plotters I'm kind of like jumping in and out of. I hope you enjoyed this video. I always love learning about everything that others are using and how they're using their journals and planners. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.